Hello everyone. So, as you can see here, today we are going to be flying from London up to Iceland. This flight is going to be 3 hours long. The plane is ready. I've skipped all the boarding and all the loading and everything like that. So we are going to get straight into it. If I zoom this back, get him back to a view where I can actually see something, and maybe low would be better. Do one more. I think we can zoom out a little bit. Maybe one more. Okay, so here we go. This is a flight for Fly UK. Flight number is FL345, I think. Let's have a look. Could have checked that before, to be honest, to make this a little bit smoother. 345, yeah. As you can see from our flight plan, leaving London Heathrow via runway 27 right, we are expecting to arrive to Keflavik on ILS runway 19. We're going to be using the UMLA1F SID from Heathrow, and not quite sure yet what we're going to use when we get to Keflavik. I've got something programmed in at the moment, but I don't think it's going to be right. We might change it. So, flight plan's ready, instruments ready. We've got the APU, zoom out a bit so that you don't get sick. APU is on. So we are now ready to push back. Let's go ahead and start that. Nose left, tail right, correct. We'll start during pushback. Let me just close that down.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Excellent.
Locking gear.
So we'll wait until they're ready. I think we still need to remove the wheel chocks. There we go. Action, remove wheel chocks. This is GSX, that of course is adding the extra little functionality, and this plane is the Aerosoft version. If I just show you quickly, we've got 150 passengers, 12.3
Locking gear.
12.3 tons of cargo, and 11.9 tons of fuel. That should be plenty. Along our SID, we've got a constraint of being above 3,000 and above 4.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Do that in a second once I finish what I was saying. Above 3 and above 4, but always below 6. So we have programmed in an altitude of 6,000.
Release parking brakes.
Now we'll do as we're told and release those parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So let's get the engines going. Ignition start selected. Engine 1 coming on. And as we do that, put our beacon light on to show we've got engines on. You can see we're spooling up. Should get some fuel flow in a minute. Around by here. You see the N2 and N1. There we go, fuel flow. Good. Once this stabilizes out, we'll get engine 2 started as well. Now actually I've realised I've just made a mistake. So I might be able to cut this from the video, but I probably will leave it in. All I actually need to do is turn off the engine. because I have not started my flight on Skytrack, which is the Fly UK method of tracking flights. So once we've put the parking brakes on, which should be very soon, I will then start the engines again. Ooh, that was a horrible view. How far back are we going to go here? Hopefully not much further. Okay, I think that might be a bit of a bug in GSX then. Because that is not a normal position to go into. Can I tell him to stop here? Stop here and complete, yeah.
Set parking brakes.
We will. Okay. Now I will start my flight. Perfect. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's get back inside though and start those engines again. I'll be honest, I make that mistake now and again. Shouldn't do, but I do. Let's get the engine spooled up. As soon as engine 1 is done, we'll put engine 2 on. Of course, this is a very long cruise we're going to have on this
Unlocking gear.
flight, so I'm not sure yet whether I'll time-lapse it or cut.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
I'll definitely show some of it, but I might not show the whole 2 hours condensed down, because that's a lot, to be honest. So, engine 2 can now come on. Not quite sure what's going on with my rudder there. Clearly something is going on.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay. So that's usually the signal we can leave, but we've got to wait for the engines anyway. But I'm a little bit concerned that it hasn't moved. Usually they would move. But maybe because I told him to stop the pushback, he's done something a bit weird. It is completely possible. Okay, engine 2 is on there. So let's just have a quick check. If we go here, and let's have a look at EGLL, go for our taxi, and go to the airport view. We are taking off from 27 right, which is this side. We need to go down here towards Bravo, route all the way around the back to link 21, then we'll go on to Alpha and through Alpha 4. That's the best way of doing this, I think. So what I'll do quickly, I'll put that up there. Hopefully you can still see that. Oh no, that's not going to work. Okay. Let's get rocking and rolling. But before we do that, let's put on the taxi lights. Put the seatbelt lights on, which should have already been on, to be honest. Turn the APU bleed off. Should have already put these pumps on. I'm doing a really bad job here. You can tell that I'm not a real pilot, of course. Unsurprising, as I'm forgetting many fundamentals. Something I do also need to do, I'll do it now before we start taxiing. I need to set the pitch to 1.9 degrees. Because we're very heavy today, so we need quite a lot of pitch to keep us in level flight. I'll also put spoilers out now. There we go. flaps will do as we're taxiing. We can put the engine now into normal mode. There we go. And anything else we should do before we leave? No, I think we're good now. Don't think there's anything else I've forgotten. Probably is, but we'll see later on. So, just give it a little bit more thrust. There is enough thrust in the 321 to actually do this, you know, move under its own idle weight. But idle thrust. But as we're quite heavy today, I think a little bit of thrust will help, just a small amount. As I said, I'll put the flaps out. Oh, this is a bit dodgy. So, this is taxiway Bravo. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do originally. That's not what you should do, which is putting the... should not actually put the parking brakes on in the middle of a flight, but in the middle of moving even. But I think it'll be okay. I'm going to put the capture on. There we go. So now, I'll put that back up again. You won't hear any sound, but you will be able to hear me, see me taxiing. But of course this is a little bit dodgy because now I can't see anything to my left. Hopefully it all goes okay. There we go. That's better. I haven't done one of these videos for a while. I've started off really badly, as you've noticed. I will try to make it a little bit better, a little bit more professional. We're not taking this one, so I'm going to pull the thrust back actually. We seem to just be travelling a little bit too fast. And my computer, it can handle most things, but it just cannot handle flight sim plus the charts plus everything else, and the recording actually, because I did fly yesterday and it was fine with that. The recording software really bogs it down. Okay, there we go. Steady. It just wants to fly, to be honest. Which is an ironic statement, considering this is a plane. But you can see it's really juttery. I'm turning smoothly the way I would normally turn, and he just doesn't like it. Not one bit. Oh. And I've just noticed that TCAS is still on standby, so I will just fix that quickly. There we go, better. And we'll put the auto brakes on now as well, and test the TO config. Oops. Just bring that back up. Yeah. So we're going to get to the end of Bravo here. Oh, nice lightning strike over there. Not sure. I don't think we're due to go through any weather, but we will check once we're on the runway. So it's not this one. We're taking link 21, as I said. You should be able to see it in the Navigraph charts. My AirAC is out of date as well. I need to update it, but that will be done after this flight. Because I've noticed it's the latest AirAC is only valid until the 11th of September anyway. And today is the 7th or 8th, don't remember. So it makes more sense, to be honest, for me to just wait until the 11th and get the very latest. I think the AirAC changed just before I went away, and I haven't flown for a while before yesterday. Okay. I think one of my add-ons might be turned on, and that's why the plane is behaving even worse than usual. So that's Alpha 3 we've got there. We're going to go for Alpha 4 as our starting point, because the plane is heavy, but it's not that heavy. Okay, it's still a 321. So this is us here. Obviously I don't have any indicators, so we're not indicating. Right, so let's brake. Perfect. Okay, let me just turn that off. Better. Okay. Apologies, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just getting myself back to normal. Let's just double check quickly. AccuFeel. It's turned off in general, maybe, but not for the aircraft. I don't know if that makes any difference. Let's have a quick check, because as I am not flying with the FlightSim ATC, it could be aircraft around me. But looks like we're good. So take those parking brakes off. And as we roll through, I will put the landing lights on, runway turn lights on, strobe lights on, nose to take off, and I don't think we need the wing lights. So it all looks good. We're a bit off center.
Approaching 27 right.
Thank you very much. That is the RAAS Pro add-on, which I think is a bit of a gimmick. It's very good for taking off and landing, for just giving you distances, but it's not really anything essential.
On runway 27 right.
Let's get into position a bit. Like I said, everything's very stuttery today. EGLL, i.e. Heathrow, also not a good runway, not a good airport for me, because I have a couple of add-ons that make the scenery very, very advanced, even though it's still not that advanced because this is FSX. Come on, come on. Brakes. Okay. We did not seem to be braking there, even with me slamming on the joystick. Okay, we've got all green on our takeoff checklist. Let's just quickly set the weather mode up. I've set it to, there we go, 10 degrees. So we should see some weather in a minute. But for now, let's spool up. And we are now in the right thrust setting. Oh my goodness, this is so juddery. I cannot believe it. I need to take off and get away from London as soon as possible. 124 is our V1. 137 is our rotate speed. We are constantly moving to the right here. There we go. And rotate. Ourselves back a bit. So we're around 15 degrees now. Oh, okay, so let's gear up and flaps one more. We're going to put the autopilot on now. We can also our ground spoilers in, and once we get to the green S on the speed, that indicates that we can pull the slats in as well. But before we get there, I'm going to turn off the APU. Now there is also a reason, turn off these lights as well, sorry, I'm distracting myself. There is a reason why I still haven't pulled the thrust lever down. That's because of the noise abatement procedure. I can't remember it exactly, but I think I should leave it on full until 3000. So, there we go. Now we're in climb, thrust, and we can pull the slats in. And there we go. Next thing we need to do, once we get to 6000, we would normally change because that is transition altitude. So I would normally pull to standardize, but I don't know the rule. I've never found out, to be honest, about what happens if your transition altitude is the same as your altitude constraint for your SID or your star. In this case, it's the same. So I do not want to be pulling it, because I will then go above my transition, my SID altitude, and that's not a good thing to do. So I think what we'll do is we'll wait until we pass the 6000 mark, which you can see on the PFD? PFD? No. MFD. Oh, I don't remember. The second black screen from the left. I really should have checked the name of it. But like I said, I haven't done one of these videos in a while, and I'm not doing very well so far, am I? But you can see we've got umlaut. That is where our constraint finishes. Once we've got past umlaut, we will be able to hit our transition, we'll be able to standardize our QNH, or air pressure. For now, I'm just going to enjoy this. It's very nice so far. And now that we've left London, or at least left Heathrow, we seem to be doing a little bit better in terms of frames per second, which is good. It's still not great because I have so much software running at the same time. It's a little bit crazy how much there is. I have Active Sky running so that I can inject real weather. I have Navigraph charts running so I can keep an eye on my flight. I also have OBS and Audacity running for recording this. Skytrack for recording the flight, and Steam is running because this is FSX Steam Edition. I think it's just struggling a little bit. It's very surprising considering the spec. But anyway, I'm waffling. We can now set our altitude to 34,000, which is our cruise. And I can hit that. You can see we've got an altitude constraint showing up on the PFD. So we won't change until we get past Umlaut, which is about to be now. Soon. There we go. So now, pull to standardize, standard air pressure. Perfect. Next thing we're going to need to do is turn the landing lights off. But that's not going to be until 10,000 feet. What I will do though is zoom out a little bit. We've got the weather radar set to 10 degrees because that's the sort of angle we're climbing at. So it's a good angle to keep it at. In general, the user guide says that we should adjust it until you get ground scatter at the edges. It also recommends values for when you're going over the sea, which is what I will be doing, so I'll have to check that. Because over the sea you can't get any ground scatter, so you're not really sure what level you should be getting. We're about to pass 10,000, and I've just realised that everything I've said for the last 5 minutes is nonsense. In terms of it, the sentences are nonsense. The content is fine. 10,000 feet, so that's landing lights off. And actually, we'll put the seatbelts off. We'll let these guys enjoy their flight now. You can also see we are not ascending as fast now because we're trying to get the speed up to 328. Once we've got a bit closer to that speed, the aircraft will start pitching up again. But for now, there is nothing that we have to do until descent. Beauty of a modern airliner, I guess. So we'll let it climb up. I'll time-lapse the climb. Once we get up to our cruise altitude, I'll unpause the time-lapse. I might have come up with an idea of something to do by then. Otherwise, we'll just continue with the time-lapse or jump cut. So, enjoy watching this lovely climb up to 34,000 feet. Okay guys, I said I was going to come back when we were cruising, but as you've probably just noticed, it's going a bit haywire. This is something I've seen before. It's basically when I've got too much stuff running, because Flight Simulator is still only a 16-bit piece of software. Was it 32? I don't remember. It sometimes goes a bit buggy if it thinks it's running out of memory. I really don't want an out of memory issue, so I've just closed a couple of bits of software to try and keep it running. So yeah, it does this really strange thing where it sort of flutters, it tries to go off on a complete wild tangent like it just did there. I mean, it was perfectly online, and then it just suddenly goes mad and tries to make a left turn. Honestly, no clue why, but I've closed a couple of things. Hopefully it will behave a little bit now. One thing I was trying to do though is I was trying to see where we are. And at the moment, oh my goodness, it's doing it again. Here we go. Come on, just chill out. I mean, there is a very strong wind, but it's not that strong. At the moment, we've just gone past Birmingham. That was on our left. Oh, we're off again. Here we go. All I can do is apologise. I was thinking of going to P3D, but then I heard about the new version of Flight Simulator and thought I'd hold off. Now I'm not so sure because my computer should be able to handle this with absolutely no problems. I only built it a few months ago, finished building it. It's got the power to handle something like FSX very easily, but I think FSX can't handle itself, if that makes any sense. However, we're almost at our cruising altitude. Of course, we've just had to change our rate of climb because we lost so much speed in those ridiculous manoeuvres. What I will do though, I have checked tilt setting for over water should be +1 for 160 nautical miles, which is what I'm going to set it to. There we go. So that should keep us okay. We should be able to see what's going on. We've got Nottingham on our right at the moment. Our route is, I can't show you anymore because I've closed Navigraph charts, but I can see it on my phone in front of me. Our route is going to take us up past Manchester, then up to the Scottish border, heading towards Glasgow, up to Fort William, and then we'll be out over the sea all the way to the south of Keflavik. Once we get to the south of Keflavik, we will start our approach into Keflavik, which, because we're expecting runway 19, we are actually going to have to take a slightly strange route. We're going to have to fly over Iceland and come back down. We're going to be going up on an angle of around about 345, heading a 345 over the island, and we'll have to do a complete U-turn to come back down for the runway 19. What we'll see as we get a bit closer. At the moment, as I said, just gone past Nottingham. We're flying over the Peak District National Park at the moment. Lovely area. And we're almost at our cruising altitude, which is good. After this, I'm going to put the chronometer on so I can keep an eye on how long we're cruising for, just to give me an idea for the video whether I time-lapse or jump cut. And we'll leave it cruising. Come on, 900 feet more. Almost there. You can see the altitude indicator on the PFD has just started flashing yellow because we're getting closer to our target. We are overspeeding a little bit at the moment. We're supposed to be doing about 281 by the looks of it, but we're currently close to 285. But Coming back down to level flight now. And actually, while we are out over land, I should adjust this so that I can actually see some ground scatter. Just so I've got an idea of weather. I'm going to have to go quite far down to get anything on a 160 scale. Apparently not that far though. That picked up a little bit too much, I think. Let's see. Basically just keep making it lower and lower until we only get ground scatter. Okay, so that gives us enough ground scatter. We'll be able to pick up what we are doing. Let's put this to nice and level. Maybe I will swap this. This is the cockpit main panel. I'll put this one here as the outside view. And I'll start a chronometer as well, as I said I would. Oh, I have to start it from inside. Okay. Ah, dearie me. Right. Chrono on. Perfect. So we lost a couple of minutes there because I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Enjoy a lovely flight. Okay guys, so we are now back. We're just about to come out over the ocean, which means I need to reset the weather radar back to the +1 value that we were looking at earlier. That is the right level for going over the sea. We have got now UTC 1816 were due. It's currently 16:57. So 1 hour and 23 until we're due. Have a look at the top of descent. Top of descent is at 17:58, so 1 hour's time. So there will be 1 hour of cruising left, which for you will be a lot shorter and easier than 1 hour. But we will continue as we were. And I'll see you once we're closer to the descent point. Hello guys, so we are now very close. Let me just close that. Very close to our descent point. I just dial it back down, you can see, look at that, we are within 10 miles. Let's have a quick check of what we need to descend to. So 3,000 will be our descent point. Let's dial that all the way down. in a couple of seconds we will be able to start descending. There we go. Descent started. Right, so what have we got left? Less than 160 kilometers, nautical miles, sorry. So that's good. So by this point we need to be at flight level 130. Oh no, it's above flight level 130. 130 or above. Then we've got one below, which is 110 or above. 100 or above, 244. And we've got a 70 or above, 4,500 or above, 3,000 and above, and then 1,800. Okay, this is interesting. And another one at 1,800. Okay, so 1,800 is actually our minimum. We'll knock this back down. Okay. Perfect. Alright. Now, temperature-wise, I've got a feeling it's probably pretty chilly here. So let's have a quick check. Current active weather, where we are. At surface, it's a temperature of 11.9. Okay. Outside air temperature at the moment is -15. -14. So, as we're going to be going through these clouds soon, I think I will put the wing and engine icing on. I'm not going to put the seatbelt signs on yet, because there's no need for that. So we'll just keep descending for now. I do actually need to change this weather radar, because we need to keep an eye on what weather we have ahead of us. I'm not sure if that is the correct amount of ground scatter. If it is, we're about to fly through a storm, which is not good, to be honest. Yeah, looks like that is. Now, one nice trick you can do is if I turn this down to minimum, you can see what remains of this little bit of storm here. Okay, very, very small. So it looks like we are going to hit a storm, but it's not going to be too bad. Let's set that back to calibrated. There we go. We're on manual 00, apparently. I'm not sure if that's the right level. See, there we go. If I put a terrain on, where does the island start? Okay, it starts there. Okay, so I'm not doing very well at the moment with the weather radar. There should be, at some point, some ground scatter. I think it's quite difficult to tell, because we seem to have a lot of reflection coming back from... Oh, just managed to nudge the... Yeah, I seem to be getting a lot of ground scatter coming back from the sea, which is unusual, actually. Dial that back down. Right, we will keep descending, because there's nothing interesting to see here. And once we are a little bit closer, we've got to, an interesting point of the descent, I will cut back from the time lapse. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we're now getting much closer. We've just come up to the point where we need to drop our speed. By KF 244 we need to be at 10,250, or above 10,000 or above, but by 250 knots. So we're just currently descending at a much lower rate so we can drop our speed. Then we'll start descending again. You can see we've got a lot of weather ahead of us. This has been adjusted for ground scatter, so we do have significant cloud cover underneath here. And you can also see in the distance up ahead, you can't see my mouse, so if you look straight forward from the cockpit, there is a volcano ahead. That is part of the volcano. I can't remember which one, but it's one of the volcanoes on Iceland. Very cool to see it in the distance. We're past 10,000 feet, so we're going to put the landing lights on. I'm also going to put the seatbelts on just because we're going through these clouds. Something I need to have a quick check of is that I need to make sure Right, sorry about that. I was getting a little bit distracted. What I'm trying to check is transition altitude for Iceland. It is 7,000 feet. So at 7,000 feet we will of course have to drop ourselves down. It looks like we've got significant cloud cover, but no severe weather. So I'm going to now turn the weather off. Much better. So at 7,000 we are going to have to change. Let's have a quick look at destination station weather. So we're going to be 998. Okay. Being asked for more drag, so let's just stick those spoilers out for a minute. Try and get some more drag as we've been asked for. Now we're being warned that we've still got the spoilers out. Let's put those back in. And we can now drop ourselves down to 900. There we go. 998. So we can get our performance set up for the approach phase. QNH, as we just checked, is 998. Move that somewhere where you can see it. Temperature 12 degrees. Wind 200 at 14. So our runway is still good. We'll keep with that. 7,000 for the transition altitude and decision altitude. I'm just reading it off the chart now for Cat 2 aircraft. We're Cat 3, but there is no Cat 3 here, so decision height 100 meters. We go with 100 meters radio. Perfect. There is some light rain apparently as well. Wow, this cloud cover is significant, isn't it? Look at this. So we should be above 3,000 and travelling at around about 220 knots by the time we get here. Which means that because we're dropping our speed down, I think I will put the flaps out. I'll do it already. So flaps 1 can go down at 230. I'll do that. That'll just allow us to drop our speed a bit while still maintaining the 220 that we've been asked to, which is good. Apparently I've got the ignition on, but I haven't. The plane did this to me the other day. Okay. So, we will now put on the landing system as well. We're going to reach a deceleration point very soon as well by the looks of it. Oh wow, look at this cloud. Look at that. A beautiful sun. Just poking its way through. Amazing. Okay, we've dropped our speed again because of the deceleration. And we will put our flaps out. There we go. We'll put our landing gear down very soon, but not just yet. So, flaps 2. It's very difficult to see anything that's going on through here, I'll be honest. But we are now getting onto the right track, which is good news. So flaps 3 and gear down. And we'll go to flaps 4. So we're now
2,500.
Let's put the localizer on, try and capture that. Should get it very soon, I hope. And here's the rain, okay. Put both sides on fast. We've not yet captured the localizer, which is a little bit worrying. I may not have chosen the right runway, which could be why. That's 19.0, yeah. No. So in that case, it looks like we're landing manually. Okay. I will turn autopilot 1 off. And let's start to descend. Try and make a nice new view of the outside. Okay, we're now descending far too quickly. Let's just pull up again.
Approaching 20.
Yeah, we descended just a little bit too quickly there. Of course we can't see a thing out here.
Approaching 20.
That's too fast again. Oh my goodness, this is a lesson in how not to land a plane, I'll be honest. Now we seem to be okay. Let's get ourselves back on the right track again, because we've come off track slightly. But we've now caught the localizer, so I put the autopilot 1 to approach. As I said, this is a lesson in how not to land a plane. Okay. what we're going to do is we're going to go around. Let's turn that warning off. Let's get ourselves... We are climbing currently. So let's turn that off. Let's climb. Start to bank around a bit as well. Slowly but surely. We need to climb up to 1800. Now we'll do that. Put the autopilot on. 190, we want to be at a heading of 100 for now. That means we're going perpendicular to the runway. Well, at least it's not a boring flight. I'll give it that. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So we'll continue on this path for a little bit longer. In fact, we will start to make a turn now. So if we take another 45 degrees, 60, 55, let's head onto a heading of 55. There we go. This weather is terrible, really, really bad. If I look again, what's our visibility supposed to be like? 0.1500 meters. Okay, that will explain it. Overcast at 200 feet. So we are going to struggle to land here. But we'll get ourselves back. So we can get back onto the localizer again. I think now would be okay. To start turning. Localizer, we want a heading of 194. So the opposite would be 14. So we'll carry on with this, give ourselves plenty of time to get back onto the right level to make a second go. Hopefully we'll be fine. We have enough fuel, so that is good news. We're not running out of fuel. We can put the localizer just to see. Oh no! Let's turn the localizer off. Go back to the heading we were on. That was my mistake. Because we picked up the localizer, but nowhere near in time. We picked up the localizer at the wrong point. So we were trying to make the turn now, which is just going to be very difficult to do. So I go back to the arc. So you can see the plan mode there. We are quite far away at the moment. Now we'll start turning in. Listen to our heading at 340. Maybe 350. Just so we can bring ourselves a bit closer to that line. There is a go-around procedure, but I'll be honest, I didn't read it. Reading it now, it says climb on 194 as heading to 3000. Expect vectoring by Keflavik approach. Well, yeah, we didn't do that. We just kind of ignored that completely. Yeah, we were supposed to climb to 3000. Whoops. But we're okay at the moment in terms of there's nothing, we're not going to be running into anything. Okay, so 194. We need to be on a heading of, in fact, we're going to keep on this heading just for now. No, we're not. We're going to go back to heading 014. We're going to straighten up again. Because we are getting close now to where the start of the ILS intercept is. Which means if we make the turn soon, yeah, there we go. Okay. Try and do some quick maths here. 194 plus 90 is 284. Now, let's turn to 284. There we go. Make the turn. All we need to do is switch that localizer back on. Not just yet though. No, wait a minute. Just get ourselves a little bit closer. And I'll start to make the turn myself manually. Or at least with autopilot headings. And there we go. Much, much better. So you can see we're starting to come back in line, so let's put the localizer on. Localizer is picked up. Let's just get back on track because we overshot a little bit there. Also put the approach on, see if we can capture that glide slope again. At the moment we are too high or too low? We're too low at the moment, okay. That's fine. That means we should be able to capture it very, very soon then. Hopefully this will go much more smoothly. Put both autopilots on. Cannot see a thing. Absolutely amazing. very much hoping that this works this time. There we go, we can see we've got the purple diamond just moving down towards our current altitude. Which means we should pick that up very, very quickly. We are set up completely for landing. We've got the flaps, the landing gear, everything is set up. We'll see how this goes. We're not going to have any visibility until we're almost at ground though, which is very worrying. There we go. Just coming up now to the point where we should be intercepting the glide slope. And we've got it. Brilliant. Whew. It's good. It's good. Because I was very, very worried we were going to miss it a second time. Okay. So, as we can't see a thing, we're going to go with auto brakes medium. Because I really can't see anything down there. We're not going to see anything until the last second. Now a little bit too low, come on. We're really fighting here to get through this wind. We've got a headwind against us. Very poor visibility. A lot of cloud. This is a difficult landing, I must say. And they said 200 feet they reckoned we were going to be able to actually have some visibility. Going to be cloud cover until 200 feet. Visibility at surface level 1,500 meters. So we might not see anything.
20.
There we go. We might not see anything until the last second. We're doing well so far. We're on track. And we'll break through this cloud very soon. Just in time to see a runway in front of us, I hope. If not, I'm going to be pulling back on the stick immediately. And we will probably have to then go to our alternate airport, which is Reykjavik. Usually only used for the internal flights, I believe. Keflavik is the international airport. No, don't go too under. There we go. So. I seem to have a terrain issue here. Let's get that. There's a reverse thrust on. Now, I really don't know what just happened in terms of the terrain. Look, for some reason, at Keflavik Airport, we are underground. I don't really get it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Means for some reason there is some sort of bug here. I have no idea what it is. But there is some sort of bug. Right. Let's get those flaps in. Put a little bit of thrust on. Is there anywhere for me to turn? Let's see. Because if everything is for some strange reason on a different level of terrain, then I'm a bit stuck, aren't I? Do I look out my left window? No, see, all the buildings are there. It's just something strange with the runway. So we will try turning here. We're just going to see what happens. That seems fine. Right, we've left the runway, so lights off, strobes off, all of my anti-ice off, and my APU on. Taxi lights on as well. So that's my APU spooling up. Let's find a parking spot, shall we? Gate. No, they're all mediums. Small, gate 10. Okay. Probably should have requested to follow me actually, because I have no idea where I'm going. But I think my APU is now warmed up. Try and find out where gate 10 is. I told you I wasn't prepared for this flight, didn't I? You might have noticed that by now, as I have no clue where to go to even get to my gate. Luckily, I do have Navigaph on my phone. Parking stands. Parking stand 10. I don't know where I am in relation to everything else. I'm just going to keep going around for a minute. There's no harm, is there? Maybe it's just possible that I can see where I am. Oh wow, okay. I'm on the opposite side of the airport. So, let's put a little bit of thrust on. We've got a long way to go. Thrust. It is slippy out here, so I am going to have to reduce the thrust if we start sliding around a bit. But hopefully we'll be okay. Oh, I can't believe I took the wrong exit. It's annoying. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cross the runway.
Approaching 29.
Very, very strange, this terrain. I don't think I've got anything installed that would affect the terrain here. Oh no, I do have a HD airport graphics with an add-on. That could be doing it. It's possible. Very possible. Touch more thrust. Got a ground speed of 23 at the moment, so I think we can afford to go a little bit faster. Not too much, just a little bit. I don't want this to take forever.
Approaching 20.
Yep, I know. Now, I should be able to go straight ahead, but it looks like that is not possible because of the terrain. So, okay. Right, we will have to stop it here then. I won't be able to park at a gate. Very, very annoying. I'll have to have a check and see what's going on with this terrain. I might be able to find something out. But what we'll do, we want APU. We will put the APU bleed on, and we will kill our engines. This is our parking spot for today. Yes, I know. I know. Excellent parking spot, isn't it? So that's both the engines off. APU bleed is on. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you've watched all the way through, I'm impressed. And thank you. And yeah, join me again for another flight at some point in the future. Thank you very much. Bye bye.